Hello and welcome to another video by Leadership Society of Arizona. Today our topic is the intelligence in those who ask for help. Socrates was a Greek philosopher who was famous for his continual pursuit for wisdom. While looking for wisdom, Socrates engaged in conversations with many politicians, poets, and craftsmen to find an individual who was wiser than himself. With each conversation, he found that although these people knew a great deal, they all had one fatal flaw. They all thought that they knew everything and did not know or would not admit to what they didn't know. After various conversations, he came to the conclusion that he was wiser than all of them, but not because he knew a great deal more. He openly admitted that he was as ignorant as any other man. But he believed he had a great advantage because unlike these so-called experts, he at least knew of his own ignorance. Think of it this way. If you were to measure how much of all the information out there from 0 to 100 that you knew, how much do you think you would be? The unwise believes they know almost everything, and because of that, they don't listen or ask anyone for help in life. On the other hand, the wise person understands reality and knows that even the smartest person knows very little. Like Socrates said, I know that I'm intelligent because I know that I know nothing. Even if we spend a lifetime learning, we may know a little more, but it will still be very little compared to what we don't know. There's just too much out there for one person or even a million to know it all. So the wise person doesn't try to know everything, but he learns to ask for help. And by being able to ask and accept the help from others, he finds the answers to things he doesn't know. By doing this, without knowing much, a wise person can do and know almost everything. And it's hard, because from a young age we have felt a need to be independent and self-sufficient. And to a degree this is important. However, asking for help and relying on others should never be seen as a weakness. No one is completely independent. We all rely on others to live our day-to-day lives. Anyone that flips on a light switch or turns their faucet on is already relying on thousands of workers who make that possible. People who are successful know that success is not achieved by learning to be independent, but it's learning and fostering relationships with others, by learning to give and ask for help. Basketball superstar LeBron James is a perfect example of this. Even with all his talent on the basketball court, he could never do it alone. Each game is not just a representation of him, but a whole team of people. LeBron James not only has his coaches and teammates, but a group of people just to keep him healthy, including a personal chef, personal trainer, a personal massage therapist, not to mention the experts in crypto technology, which is an advanced version of an ice bath, hyperbaric chambers, which help him to put more oxygen into the body, and even sports gear like compression clothes to help him in the recovery process. There is never just one person to anyone in life. I mean, can you imagine if he tried to do all of that alone? I began to really understand this concept as I went into college. Now, through my high school years, I had found I worked best alone, and luckily I was quick enough to be able to do it all alone. However, as I began to take many college classes, I began to find a problem with this. Not only was it taking a really, really long time, but often I wouldn't be smart enough to understand it. Generally, my approach to any homework assignment would be the following. I would get the assignment on Monday and would try to use my notes to finish it. What I didn't understand, I would then reread the chapters to see if that helped. I would then try to solve the problems again, and the day before it was due, I would still not have them all, so I would stay up all night panicking and working till the late hours. By the time I turned in the homework, not only was it not 100% correct, but I didn't understand all of it, so when the exam came, I ended up doing very poorly. In my desperate attempt to rectify my grades and rectify this problem, I was forced to try something new. I decided that instead of trying to do it all alone, I should look for help. Three major actions I took to do this was 1. Using technology. I found many of the difficulties I had were shared by thousands of other people. All I had to do was search for it. Next, I began to get to know my professors, who were more than willing to help as long as I put in the effort and came for help at the right times. And lastly, even though I'm a very shy person, I made it a point to make at least 3 friends in each class who seemed to understand the material. With this new approach of asking for help, it radically changed how I did homework. On Monday, when the assignment was given, I would immediately do all the problems I knew how to do or could easily understand through others using Google. I would then come prepared to class with my friends on Tuesday with the questions I didn't understand. What neither I or my classmate understood, I could then go on Wednesday to the office hours of my teacher, who could then provide additional help. On Thursday, I could go again, come prepared to class with questions I didn't understand from my classmates. By the time Friday came, not only was my homework done in far less time, but it was correct, and I actually understood it. Now, this taught me such a valuable lesson about life and how important it is to learn how to ask for help. This doesn't just apply to school, it's a principle that should be used in all aspects of life, including personal issues such as relationships, depression, or health. It isn't a sign of weakness to ask for help, but it's actually a sign of intelligence. There's just so much help out there. There's no need for us to suffer or do all the work alone if we just learn how to ask for help.